Assalamu everyone. I hope so. You all are going great and well. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another lecture. Welcome to another very beautiful day. If you have not liked to subscribe my YouTube channel, please do that and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get the notification of each and every lecture and stay tuned with that. If you have any question on English or do math science, you can comment on any of my video. I'll go through that and make a video on that as soon as possible. So let's start with our today's lecture without wasting any of our GMFL time. So Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope so you all will be doing great. Today basically I'm gonna make you learn about science. Science, it's something that is to be learned, something that is to be concepts to be cleared. In maths and science, concepts must be cleared. Here you're not having such things like formula, but here you are having such things like brain. You need brain over here. You have to put your interest over here. Otherwise, if you have no interest in that, or if you don't want to study about it, you can't ever know about it. So let's start. Cell. What is a cell? A cell is a structural, functional, and biological unit of an organisms. We have 150 trillion cells in our body. We have 150 trillion cells in our body. Each cell has different work. Nerve cells, white blood cells, brain cells, stomach cells, heart cells, lung cells, nerve cells. Like we have different type of cells, and 150 trillion cells are present in our body. Like if you take an example, like there is a brick and we join all the bricks to make a wall. Exactly same as we join cells to make a cell wall. Okay, so again, what's a cell? A cell is a structure. It has structures. It has many internal particles that are present inside it. Functional, they all have different functions, and biological unit. Okay, like their cells are made up of different cell units that are known as cell. Okay, our living things body is made up of different units called cells. Clear? Cells are the basic building blocks of our muscles, bones, and other organs. Okay, they are the building blocks. I tell you about the building blocks that are bricks we join together to form a block. That the same way we join cells together to form a cell wall. And cells are the basic building blocks of our muscles, bones, and other organs of our body. All of our body organs have different cells. All living things are made up of cells, and even if one of the cells does not work, like nerve cell stops working, information will not pass through that. Many body problems you would have to face. The human body is composed of trillions of cells. Like our body has trillions of cells present in our body. They are very small, so we cannot see them with our eyes, and we need a microscope, a special instrument to see that. And microscope is basically something, an instrument that's used to see something. It has different parts, and we use these parts to observe something clearly with a naked eye. Every cell is composed by a plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and a nucleus, and eukaryotic cells, or the nucleon in prokaryotic cells. Okay, like basically first you should know about the cell membrane, cell wall, cytoplasm. Then you should know about chromosome, ribosome, googly. That all you should know about all the parts. What's a cell again? Cells are the smallest living units in a living thing. Okay, like the smallest thing is atom. Okay, and even though an atom is made up of either cell, like we have two type of cell. One is a battery, one cell. We are talking about that body, one cell. Okay, unicellular, like living things made up of single cell, are known as unicellular organisms, and we can't see them with our naked eye. Basically, the ones which have one eye, one cell, they are made up of one cell, we can't see them. And multicellular living things made up of many cells, like they are made up of many cells. Cells are joined together to make a body, and multicellular are both are living things. Unicellular, multicellular living things, objects, like everything is made up of something, but living bodies are made up of cell. Everything is made up of atom, but living bodies are made up of cells and atom. Plant cell and animal cell diagram. The most current thing that you should know about is the plant cell and animal cell. First of all, if I talk about their structure, about their usage, how they are used, all that, I would have different thing to discuss about them. So but first of all, look here. It is basically, we can say it's a plant cell and this is an animal cell. In this plant cell, first of all, I should tell you that they are having two outermost covering. Plant cells have two outermost covering. First of all, the first outermost covering is the cell wall, and cell membrane is not the most outermost covering, but it's known as a protective layer. And just in animal cell, they have only one cell membrane. Why? Because they don't need that much shelter, because they have homes to live. Plant cell needs these all stuff. Okay, so that's why the plants, they are present in the sunlight, so they don't need any, they need a very 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 protective layer, that cell wall and cell membrane, that works together to form the outermost covering in a plant cell. Otherwise, in the animals, in the animal cell, like we have the nucleus in the mid, and we have all the molecules present around that. But in a plant cell, we have at the side, we have the nucleus, which is having chromosome, that there's a thread, like something that has genes present inside that, that genes, like in our body we have a like brain that controls all everything. So in a cell we have nucleus. In the nucleus we have chromosomes are thread like structure, and they even the further contain, they even the further contain these genes, and these genes have, each gene has one information that controls any part of your body. Okay, now this is present, there are many chromosomes, and in one chromosome there would be maybe thousands of genes present. Okay, like we have the chromosome and nucleus in both, but the thing is that they are present in different places. In animal cell we have the nucleus in the mid, but in plant cell we have at the side. Okay, then in animal cell again, the very first thing I made you learn about is nucleus. This here you can see this is a nucleus of a animal cell, and this is the nucleus of a plant cell. This is the nucleus of a plant cell, and this is of the animal cell. It further contains about chromosomes. Take a nucleus further contains chromosomes, and chromosomes are basically chromosome is basically a structure that is present inside the nucleus. Okay, then let's start. Then we have our second part that is also very well known, the area or the occupation, like in cell, we can say, if I'm able to say that in plant cell they have a single large single vacuole, but in animal cell we have small many vacuoles. Like here in a plant cell we have only one vacuole, but here 1 2 3, like we have different vacuoles in the plant cell, in an animal cell, but in a plant cell we have a single long vacuole. Here is a vacuole, this is vacuole. Okay, and here these tiny particles are known as the vacuoles. Okay, then we have nuclear membrane. What is the nuclear membrane actually? You know about nucleus, you should know about nuclear membrane, because it's really commonly known. Here if I give you a look, here it's the nuclear membrane present in both. It's like the outermost covering of a nucleus, but outermost covering of a nucleus, not a cell, but nucleus is known as the nuclear membrane. The plant has a cell membrane, cell wall and cell membrane, but there are the outermost coverings, and it's like of a flat shape. An animal cell is a round type shade and stuff, and it has only cell membrane. Then they have mitochondria. Mitochondria is basically a structure that mitochondria is basically the plural, and the mitochondrion is basically the singular form of mitochondria. Okay, it's the plural is mitochondria and the singular is mitochondrion. Okay, and basically it's known as a cell organelle. We can also say it as cell organelle. Basically, what's a cell organelle? A small structure in a cell that's surrounded by a membrane has also has a specific function is known as the cell organelle. Take it's a very small structure that's in a cell that's surrounded by a membrane, like you have cell membrane. It also has a different membrane, and it has a specific function that's called a cell organelle. And the location basically where we can find mitochondria is basically cytoplasm. It's present in the cytoplasm, and it's basically its location is cytoplasm. Here it's cytoplasm. Here you can find mitochondria. Okay, and what's the function of mitochondria now? It is used in respiration, like it's a powerhouse of a cell. Because it is why it's a powerhouse of cell, because it is basically a part of respiration. By using oxygen, these tiny structures break down the food into energy, water and carbon dioxide. Basically, like glucose plus oxygen converts the carbon dioxide, water and energy. Basically, while using oxygen, these small tiny structures, we can break the food into energy, water and carbon dioxide. ठीक है, and glucose plus oxygen converts into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. That's a chemical reaction of respiration. Then we have ribosomes. What are ribosomes? First of all, let me tell you the location of ribosomes. Here in animal cell, these are the ribosomes, and here in plants are these are the ribosomes. This area is the ribosome. Basically, they are also present in the cytoplasm. All of these things are present in the cytoplasm. Okay, and their function is basically they are the factory for protein. Why the factory for protein? Protein is made over here. You can see all the proteins, they are found over here. Okay, like rhizosome, the function of rhizosome is that they are protein factory, we can say. Okay, factory of protein. Then we have vacuole. I was saying that plant cell, it has I was saying you that plant cell has a single large vacuole, and an animal cell has many small vacuoles. So all what we're thinking, what is a vacuole basically? So the vacuole basically is the, first of all, let me tell you about the location of vacuole. It's present in the cytoplasm. Its function is that it's storage of materials filled with water. Okay, the storage of materials filled with water is in the vacuole. Okay, and chloroplast. When we have I hope so we'd also be known about chloroplast. Here, this is the chloroplast, and here, where is the chloroplast? Yeah, it's not present here, but it's okay. But chloroplast, it's also a very interesting thing. It contains chlorophyll, which absorbs light, and it's actually it's only present in the plant cell. It's only present in the plant cell. Chloroplast is only present in the plant cell. It's absent in the animal cell. Okay, because it has chlorophyll that's used for plants. Okay, and its function that's used in photosynthesis, like carbon dioxide plus water, it converts sunlight, chlorophyll, and glucose plus oxygen. Like it has a different formula for that. Okay, it has a different formula for that. So I hope so you have learned about that. Then we have Golgi apparatus. Let me also tell you about that over here. Okay, now again I have a structure that's of a plant animal cell basically. So let's start. First of all, we have basically, first of all, we have over here the thing that's nucleus. Like here, nucleus body, nucleoplasm, nucleus, nuclear pole, nuclear envelope. Like there are many type of nuclear things present in nucleus. Then we have ribosomes that I told you about. These are the tiny ribosomes. Then mitochondrion. This is single mitochondrion, and what's called mitochondria. ठीक है, then I tell you about basically cytoplasm. I tell you all the things present in the cytoplasm. Basically this is a cytoplasm and cell membrane, outermost covering. ठीक है. Okay, then we have Golgi complex as Golgi apparatus. So let me tell you about Golgi apparatus. I will tell you about something time. So basically, it's also known as Golgi bodies. Okay, it's also known as Golgi bodies. Okay, its second name you can say is Golgi bodies. ठीक है, it's present in both plant and animal cell. You can see or observe it in both plant and animal cells. It's involved with processing of packaging of proteins like the waste material that's made in ribosomes. It's here packed. Okay, it's here packed. It's packed over here. Okay, then now we have centrioles. What are centrioles basically? Centrioles basically are present only in animal cell near the nucleus. Okay, then it's present in animal cell that's near the nucleus, and it's involved in cell division. Okay, we use that in cell division. Then basically we have chloroplast. What's chloroplast? It's present only in plant cell. Okay, it's not present over here, but for here you can see it, chloroplast. It's present over here. Okay, here chloroplast is present. Here vacuole, we can say Golgi apparatus, cell membrane, cell wall. We can see cytoplasm, mitochondria. We can see ribosome, Golgi vessels, nucleus. Many types of nucleus are present over here. Chloroplast is present over here. Cell wall. Then here we also have Golgi apparatus, vacuole, membrane, but we are talking about chloroplast. What's chloroplast basically? It's only present in plant cell, contains a green pigment called chlorophyll, which traps sunlight to prepare the food for the plant through the process of photosynthesis basically. This is called basically chloroplast, and it's a work of basically chloroplast. And chloroplast and cytoplasm are something very in a relation, you can say that. Okay, so let me tell you what is a cytoplasm. I tell you that many different things are present in cytoplasm, but what's a cytoplasm basically? It's a watery gel which fills the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. All essential functions to the of the cell are performed in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains many small structures called organelles. I tell you the definition of the organelles, but what are organelles? They perform different jobs for the cell. There are many types of organelles in a cell. For example, some are common in both plant and animal cells, like for example mitochondria, like singular it's mitochondrion, and ribosomes. Mitochondria break down the food to release energy, and therefore they have called the powerhouse of the cell. Ribosomes are very small organelles which are present in the factory of protein. Okay, then what's the nucleus? It acts like the control center of the cell. It contains all the information of the cell in the thread-like structure called chromosome. Then we have cell membrane is a thin protective layer around a cell. It holds all the parts of the cell together. It's a boundary with gates and controls what moves in and out of the cell. You should know this. Then we have cell wall is present outside the cell membrane of a plant. It's a hard and dead layer made up of cellulose. Cellulose is a large molecule which cannot digest. It's a natural fiber found in plants. When we eat plants, the fiber acts like a broom to clean our intestines. Cell wall gives the plant a cell a fixed shape. Animal cell is without a cell wall. Chloroplast now is a special organelle for photosynthesis found in green parts of a plant. It contains a green pigment called chlorophyll. A chloroplast absorbs sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to make food and oxygen. It's not present in animal cell. And then we have vacuole that stores food, stores different types of substances like water and salts if in abundance. Plant cells have a large central vacuole. A fluid-like filled vacuole provides support from inside to the plant cell. It increases in size during plant growth. Animal cell is a small vacuole dispersed in the cytoplasm. And I have something that you should know, that your body has 75 trillion cells. Some of your nerve cells can also live throughout your life, and some white blood cells and intestine cells live only for 3 days. Ostrich egg is the largest cell in the world, and it would take about 200 of your cells to fill out a full stop. Like if I put a full stop, your 200 cells will come in it. Okay, and you would have a observing something that's really different, that is endoplasmic radiation. So let me tell you about endoplasmic plasmic reticulum. Is something that you should know that it's present in both plant and animal cell. It involves in the movement of material in a cell, synthesis of lipids, for example cholesterol and protein synthesis. So like it's sometimes it's rough SCR and sometimes it's RER. Okay, like it has different signs. It's present in both cells. Okay, then I have to tell you something about cell organelles, that it's cracked in both cytoplasm of both types of cells and their functions, that they are small membrane bounded structures in the cell with specific functions basically. So let's start next one. Okay, here every detail is given to you. First of all, nuclear envelope. Okay, membrane enclosing the nucleus, protein lined pore allow the material to move in and out. Chromatin, DNA plus associated proteins. Nucleus, condensed region where ribosomes are found. Proteasome, metabolized waste. Endoplasmic reticulum, when it's rough, it's associated with the ribosomes, makes sanitary and membrane proteins, and then when it's smooth it makes lipids. And cytoskeleton, it's cytoskeleton, and it's microtubules from the mitonic spindle and maintain cell shape. Centrosome, microtubule organizing center. Intermediate filaments, fibrous proteins that hold organelles in place. Microfilaments, fibrous proteins from the cellular cortex. Then it's plasma membrane, and then lysosmus, digest foods and waste materials. Golgi apparatus modifies proteins. Cytoplasm, mitochondria produce energy, take a vacuole. Okay, then we have a plant cell. It's the endoplasmic, when it's smooth and it's a rough one. Plasmodesma, channels connect to plant cells, and cell wall maintains the shell shape. Plasma membrane, cytoplasm, central vacuole, like fills with the cell sap that maintains pressure against the cell wall. Cytoskeleton, metabolites in immediate filaments, microments, and microfilaments. And chloroplast sit of photosynthesis, plastic store pigments. Okay, now I can also tell you something else. That you must know, that if I say the plant cell, basically I can say, look here, I can say that the plant cell has two outer coverings and animal cell has only one outer covering. So I can say about the shape that the plant cell has a rigid or fixed shape because of two outer coverings, and an animal cell has one, and that shape is also not fixed because it has only one outer covering. Plant cell has two outer coverings, so its shape is fixed and rigid, but animal cell has nothing like that, it's unfixed. Now I have also a stop and check question for you, that what would happen if a cell membrane is damaged? So there would be no boundary, and it would be also affect the cell membrane. Okay, like it's something that's not really good. Okay, that I want to tell you about. Then nucleus is known as the control center of a cell, and if they give you justify that, you would write nucleus is known as the control center of a cell as it controls all the actions of the cell. It has genes in chromosomes that have different actions or work to control. Nucleus also work as brain. So what would happen if a plant cell has no cell wall? If a plant cell has no cell wall, then there would be a big problem for outermost covering, and the shape of a plant cell would not remain fixed or rigid. It would also have a structural support problem. Then why does a specialization of cell mean, like cells with unique structure and function in a living body are known as specialized cells. They work together in groups to form different tissues, and tissues work together to form organs that perform specific functions in the body. For example, red blood cells are specialized to transport or oxygen in our body. Okay, isn't it like that? ठीक है. After that, you should know about their labelings, their similarities and differences. Like their differences are that plant cell has fixed shape, but animal has no fixed shape. Plant cell have large single vacuole, and animals have cells have many small vacuoles. Plant cell have nucleus at the center, but animal cell have central nucleus. Plant cell has chloroplast, but animal cell has centrioles. Plant cell has cell wall at its outermost covering, and animal cell membrane is the outermost covering. In plants cell no centrioles, and in animal cell no chloroplast. In cell wall there is a cell wall, but in a animal cell there is no cell wall. And the last thing that I want to tell you about is basically an contribution of Robert Hooke. You should know about Robert Hooke. Cells were discovered after the invention of microscope. The cell was first discovered and named by Robert Hooke in 1665. He observed a thin slice of cork under the microscope and noticed small boxes surrounded by walls, which he named as cells. So I hope so like today's lecture. See you in the next lecture. Take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.